Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 29 of Omnifactory. So in the last episode we got our first Mark 1 fusion reactor built, and in fact this is almost finished with the second Deuterium recipe. There's about 9,000 millibuckets of gallium left to go through, so we're almost where we need to be in terms of europium and uranium counts. And we also built the large microverse projector, which hopefully today we'll get to use. This is for tier 7 and above. And also right at the end of the last episode we set up the fusion crafting from Draconic Evolution. I've since expanded this to 4 nearly identical setups, and I also upgraded these to Wyvern tier. And then there's one that's at Draconic tier with an extra 2 fusion crafting injectors, and that's just a service to higher recipes that require 10 inputs. All of these interfaces just have the same pattern in it, so it will apply when we request an item that's in one of those. Applied Energistics will distribute it amongst these 3. So if you remember last time we were waiting on some things finishing up crafting in order to build the Mark 2. Those have now finished, and we should be able to pick up the fusion coil blocks that we were waiting on, and then fusion machine casings, the Mark 2, and what was it, energy inputs. So yeah, let's start off today. There's a quest even. Let's start off today by building our Mark 2 fusion reactor, and I'm just going to probably stick it right next to this one, and we'll at least align it up here. Yeah, I think that can work. What do you think? Do you think this looks better than the Mark 1? Personally, I think I like the aesthetic of the Mark 1 better. Just that white. I really like those LUV machine casings. But yeah, this is still pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, we need to power this. Same as the last one. So these are UV input hatches. So I'm assuming we need draconium cable for this, which is the UV lossless power cable. In fact, do we have this encoded already? We don't. Okay, let me encode that then. And we'll also need a UV CEF, so I've encoded one of those. These take the tier 8s. They're pretty expensive, but we're going to need them, so yeah, that was quite fast even. There's one of those, and we'll need some draconium cable. Okay, that's power sorted. Now we need to sort the inputs. So I've put the fluid inputs on the same place, and I've included 2 more. I don't actually know exactly what we'll be doing with this, other than Tritanium. So we'll just start with that for now. So the quest mentions we need Tritanium for the wetware processing mainframe, and we need specifically titanium or Tritanium frames, which is made from the rods and the plates. It's the standard frame recipe, just with the Tritanium components. And Tritanium itself comes from the Deuterium we made last time, and Titanium. So I guess let's get 2 fluid extractors, and we can just manually input both of these inputs. And then we'll just fluid solidify, just like we did the last time. Since we don't need a lot of this, we only need like 2 stacks total. Okay, I have everything hooked up here. It's just the same setup with the fluid extractors. I've put in some titanium to get melted in here, so that's going in this input hatch. And then we'll have to put our uranium in here. So let me grab some of that, and then I think we're good to go actually. We'll grab 4 stacks. I don't think there's any other use for uranium other than to turn it into tritanium. But I'll keep some of it around. Yeah, we can always make more of that anyway, since we still have this fusion reactor Mark 1 intact. So yeah, let's just put this in and start this long process. Alright, and there's the first pieces of tritanium. I'm going to cast it all into plates just for now, and we'll make rods as we need it, since we need the plates and the rods. And actually, I bet the quest wants the ingot, right? Yeah, it does. So let's just get 1 ingot just for the quest. It seems like it's even slower as well. 4 seconds compared to... Wait, that's the wrong recipe. Oh no, it's the same, 3.2. It's just a higher energy cost. And yeah, there's the first tritanium and the quest. So that unlocks the Mark 3, which we'll have to build as well. This will give us access to neutronium, but we don't need that at the moment, so we're going to hold off on that. Either way, we're going to have to wait on this tritanium crafting before we can move on with this particular step. So in the meantime, let's work on our tier 7 microminer. And actually, most of the infrastructure here is already set up. We have to do a little bit more work to set up the warp engines. But apart from that, mostly everything else is craftable at this point. Let's just encode the recipe for this in the ultimate extended crafting table and let the system tell us what we need. So to make one tier 7, we are missing 80 wetware boards, 2 energy core stabilizers, 4 dark solarium thrusters, advanced dislocators, glowstone elevation units, and dislocators. Okay, that's a bit less than what I expected, but at the same time we've still got a bit to go. So, let's start with the energy core stabilizer. This shouldn't be much of an issue. This is just a wyvern fusion crafting recipe. And the particle generator is what? Empowered Restonia, draconic cores, and blaze rods. Yeah, this should be easy. We just have to encode in our pattern terminal. And conveniently it is 9 inputs. So we can just do this times 4. There's 4 patterns, and then we can put this in fusion crafting. 1 in each. We'll also need the particle generator recipe. So to request one of these, are we missing anything here? Conflux components, which is basically all the other components. Okay, we can do that. Now can we request this? Yes, we can. Alright, that's 1 down. There's our energy core stabilizer. Next one is the dislocator and the advanced dislocator. So these are going to take blaze powder, draconium dust, chorus flower, and the advanced takes dragon eggs and ender pearls. Okay, the advanced is easy, as so long as we have a stock of dragon eggs. However, this chorus flower, I think we have to go to the end. I don't think there's any other way to get this other than to visit the end. So yeah, let's go meet the ender dragon then. Okay, we're in the end. This should be a pretty easy fight. We've got a flight, and I made this bow with Infinity Unbreaking Power 4. So I don't suspect this will be very difficult at all. Wonder if we can keep 100% accuracy. So far. 1 to go? I think so. This is probably going to be like one of the quickest end fights I've ever had. There's one. Oh, we missed our first shot. Okay. Oh wow, that actually hit. I shouldn't forget to get some Ender, what is it called again? Dragon's Breath while I'm here. About half HP. Try and get some more Ender Dragon's Breath. I keep calling it Ender air bottles, but that's in from Botania. Oh, look at all the Endermen chasing the dragon. I guess that guy's after me though. One more shot. One more shot. Come on. There we go. And I want the dragon heart. I guess we'll also nab this free dragon egg as well. And now we have to find one of those things we throw the pearl through. Grab a chorus flower, and then I think we're done here. Oh, what is this thing? Is this one of the draconic asteroids? Draconic evolution asteroids? I think it is for draconium. I haven't seen one of these in a while. Not that we really need draconium ore though. Okay, let's just get what we came for then. Let's get some chorus flower. And we're back. I would say that was a pretty successful trip. Quite quick. And yeah, so now with this chorus flower, we obviously want to farm this so we can make more dislocators. So I believe we could just add this to our tree farm. And I think I might just replace the canola since we're not actually using the canola. So we'll have to take all of this out and I think just convert it all to endstone. Okay, our canola is now switched out with chorus flowers. And I've added 2 more drawers. I've just kept the canola ones there just in case we want to swap it back. But yeah, just for now, we're now getting passive chorus flowers. Although this is pretty slow, but You know, it'll do for now. And with that, we can add a recipe for the dislocator. It's just a regular crafting recipe. And then the advanced takes 9 items, so we can just import it like this. We'll get 4 copies of that and add it to our fusion crafting again. And let's just try order a couple of these just to make sure it works. It does use the dragon eggs, so I don't want to order too many. Oh, it's so nice having these automated though. Oh, hold on, what's up here? Why aren't you crafting? Pedestal tier 2 low. Oh, this can only be made in draconic, I guess. Yeah, so okay, we'll have to take it out of this one then. Until we upgrade these all to draconic. We can just have that one crafted just now. Okay, and that now leaves probably the hardest things to do here, and that is the glowstone elevation units and the dark solarium. Let's start with the easiest ones, which is the glowstone. So this is a pretty simple recipe. We have lumium and flux electrum automated, as well as fused quartz. And then we'll need an assembler, at least IV, with molten glowstone. Alright, let's start with that then. Okay, there's a very standard setup here. I've got the assembling machine with 2 interfaces, one to supply glowstone, and one to supply the recipe. We still have to add that here. And then it's set to auto output, so that should be that finished. Now we just have to add this recipe into the interface. And we'll craft a few of these, just 4 for now, just to test. Okay, and that just leaves this dark solarium thruster. These vibrant ones we already have, we can make these on demand. So that just leaves dark solarium and this flight control unit, which just takes dark solarium. We have electrical steel and fused quartz. So dark solarium is going to have to be tritium, solarium and dark steel. And this is an 8600K temperature recipe at LUV, so this is pretty high tier. We need tritium though, and we don't currently have any tritium. And for that we need deuterium, and we can either centrifuge hydrogen, for which we get 10 millibuckets per 500 millibuckets of hydrogen. This is a pretty bad recipe. We can get it from moon dust. I don't know if there's any easy way to get moon dust. Moon turf we can get, I guess we can get this from tier 1 microminers. However, each ingot of this dark solarium takes 1000 millibuckets of tritium, so that's going to take us like ages to get anywhere. So I think it's probably worth just setting up this lunar mining, and we'll just prime it with a bunch of rovers, which aren't too bad at this point. It takes some solar panels, some HV components. Yeah, this is pretty cheap at this point, and it gives us 16 per, and it's consumed 10% of the time. This is 600 seconds, but that is at MV, so we can overclock this. The only issue is though, how are we going to power this? Because obviously there's no wireless RF transport, is there? There's no like flux networks, or what are they called? Flux points? No, there's none of that. Is there the Ender IO version? Yeah, the dimensional transceiver. Can we make this? I don't see why not. I don't know if this has any sort of power tax on it. Let me actually find out. Let me look that up. I couldn't find anything about a tax on the energy that it sends. I think it's free. If not, we can switch to GregTech solar panels, but I think this can work. So if we can have this dimensional transceiver transfer up to 532,000 RF a tick. So I think we'll just use these, and then we obviously have to build the multi-block as well. And obviously we have to get to space. We haven't been to space yet, which involves building a rocket, and the whole advanced rocketry setup. We're going to have to go through that as well. And the lunar mining station is also a multi-block. It's this thing here. This is pretty big as well, so let's just make sure we can actually craft this. A lot of LUV machine casings by the looks of it. And also energetic silver. I don't think we have energetic silver yet. We should have everything else though. Stellar alloy, I don't think we've got that. How do we make this? Inch steel, grains of infinity? Okay, we can do that, that's easy. Although this energetic silver, how do we get this? Energetic blend and silver in a blast furnace. What would be an Omnifactory episode without a blast furnace edition? I've added a blast furnace for energetic silver here. So yeah, it's just the standard setup, like every other blast furnace we have. And so yeah, that's that taken care of. The rest of the things though seem easy enough. That's just a matter of inputting recipes. Let's actually work on getting to the moon. So we're going to need a launch pad, a rocket itself, the rocket assembly machine, all that. I'm going to craft all these advanced rocketry things because to be honest it's kind of boring. And I've done it like a million times by now. So let's get our rocket assembling machine. I think all of this won't be too much bother. We should have access to all this by now. Okay, so after all that crafting, that actually took me about an hour or so to do all of that. Some of those recipes are a bit disgusting. Especially this spacesuit, like, it takes like these radiation layers and like cloth and I don't know, it seems a bit unnecessary. Anyway, we got there in the end. Even like the guidance computer is like some of this advanced crafting. It's like more or less the tier 3 stuff for most of it, but yeah, really not too bad at this point. I think technically you're supposed to do this way earlier in the game. It's just I didn't. And so yeah, we're going like super basic rocket, and yeah, we only need to go to the moon. So I think we're fueled and we're actually ready to go. I have got the Infinity Booster card, so I can access the ME system when I'm there. And I'll take some dislocators just to get back so that we don't have to take the rocket every time. And then I'll probably, yeah, fly there. Actually, let's just start this just now. Yeah, we'll fly there and then place our dislocator and then come back for all the stuff. I.e. the Lunar Mining mission thingy. And yeah, this takes a couple of minutes to get there, so I'm going to cut to when we... actually, screenshot time. I'll be back when we land in. Almost forgot the spacesuit there. I'm glad I remembered about that. Just when I seen my character in the glitch armor. Yeah, I did put oxygen in here, so we should be good. And we're coming down on the moon. That really didn't take too long. And yeah, I think this is more or less standard Advanced Rocketry moon generation. I don't think there's anything special to see here. Unlike other packs, like FTB Interactions actually had a really interesting moon thing. They had like really cool dungeons in there. That was a really cool concept. I quite like that about that pack. So we'll bind our dislocator to here and then set it down on the pedestal. Wait, I want the other one. I think it was this one. On here. And this one will go in our base in the other world. And yeah, we'll build our lunar miner here. I need to go and grab the materials for that. I haven't actually crafted that yet. And while I'm here, I might as well send this rocket back to Earth. So we can select Earth and then just launch the rocket and get off, and it should just launch and land itself on back where we launched it from. Since we really don't actually need this anymore, unless we're going to other planets, which I don't know if is necessary in this pack. So that might be the last time we actually see the rocket. Okay, we made it back here. Let's actually check up on how the reactor is doing. I wonder if it's finished yet. It's been running quite a while, so I'd imagine it will be. Yeah, we're at like 2 stacks of Tritanium. Looks like it's gone through all of the titanium and uranium. And again, I think this is all we need. We can run more if we need to, but I think this is all we're going to do for now. Yeah, let's set up the lunar miner first, since that'll take a bit to get enough, what is it we even need? Tritium. So many chemicals and things in this pack. Yeah, I'm going to craft up all the materials that we need for that. Okay, so after some setup, I've got our lunar miner built. Quite an interesting multi-block structure. And yeah, this dimensional transceiver seems to work okay. I'm running this at ZPM tier. Yeah, it's actually not even running all the time because we can't process amount of deuterium fast enough. So I might have to actually change the way I'm processing the deuterium. It might actually be voiding this output. I might have to maybe put a quantum tank as a buffer. I might do that on the other side though. But yeah, we just give it deuterium rovers, which, as I mentioned, aren't really too difficult. These solar panels are quite nested, but luckily we have AE2. And yeah, this only consumes these 10% of the time and gives us a ton of deuterium at once. So yeah, this is chunk loaded. This will just keep running, giving us deuterium. And then on the other side, I just have the ender tank hooked straight up to a cyclone, or a centrifuge. This centrifuge is into tritium. And in fact, I'm actually going to add a quantum tank on this. Just because I don't want it to void... I don't want it to void the rovers. Or the output from the lunar miner. Let's just move this up one. So yeah, that'll empty in there. And in fact, we can put a fluid storage bus on there as well. So that we can access deuterium if we need it. And I have one on the tritium buffer as well. We're just doing that in a steel drum. And then, with the tritium, I have set up this blast furnace with our superconducting coils. And remember, this recipe has to be LUV, so that's what it's running at right now. This is 60 seconds per. And this gives dark Solarium with this recipe here. So with this, I'm just supplying the tritium via fluid interface, and then I have both of these ingots supplied here with the limited item filter. And yeah, it's just the usual level emitter storage monitor setup. And so that'll give us our dark Solarium ingots. So now what's left to craft this thruster, the dark Solarium thruster, we have to wait on a bit more of this backlogging, but that shouldn't take too long, to be honest. And then we have to get this flight control unit. So this is just the ingots, but then this step is done in the soul binder, and we need to soul bind either bats or ghasts. And I think instead of crafting it like this, I'm going to use the powered spawner in capture mode. So we have to go and find a bat first of all, since that'll be probably easier than a ghast. We're going to find a bat and trap it in this soul vial. Found one or two. I don't know if you can actually see it. In fact, I've lost it now. Where did it go? There it is. Come here. I got him. So I'm not actually sure if I showed this. I set this up a few days ago. This is just some powered spawner setups with soul binders on the end. And this one makes prescient crystals, which I think I was making over there, but I ripped that version out. I think it was sitting in front of the sheep farm before. And yeah, we have this now, and this also makes the ender crystals. And this powered spawner is set to enderman. And then that gets imported with vibrant crystals, which we're making elsewhere, somewhere on the HV line. So I'll add it to this bat spawner. I'm waiting on a capacitor being done. And then I have a soul binder and powered spawner. So I'll put the soul binder here, and I'll just set it up exactly like I have these ones. In fact, I'm going to need 2 capacitors, aren't I? Yeah. So that gives the bat broken spawner, and then we have to combine that in the anvil again. And we'll place this down, prime it with some soul vials. Then I've got the interface set with the pattern in here. We're just going to do it on demand for now. So this sends one empty unit. That'll get placed in the soul binder, combined with the bat soul vial. The empty soul vial will then be outputted here and be put back in this one to be filled with another bat entity. And then the finished craft will go back to this interface as well. So we can try ordering another few. I don't know if we haven't. Yeah, we don't have enough dark Solarium yet. Let's just try another one. Yeah, you can see it just how quick it is as well. So this will be sufficient at least until we have dark Solarium backlogged. And I believe that is the last step for our tier 7s. Let's try get one of these thrusters just to make sure. Missing the flight control unit. Oh, wait a second. I was only requesting the empty ones. These full ones haven't even been hooked up yet. That was a bit of a fail. Yeah, I didn't even hook up the interface. Alright, let's try that again then. I thought this was a bit quick. There we go, I've added a buffer chest for the interface to put into, and then it goes into the soul binder from there. And that worked. I was wondering, why is there MBT on that flight control unit there? And now it lets us craft it. Okay, so let's try and request the tier 7 microminer. Oh, what are we still missing? We're missing some dark Solarium. And what else? Chorus flower and wetware boards. Yeah, the wetwares are going to take ages, so I don't know if we're going to get it today actually. In fact, let's just right now request some more microminers. Let's do maybe 4. Or half a stack of eggs each. Looks like we can do 4. Let's kick that off. That'll take ages to go through. And then this chorus issue, I think is because the output of this is full. So it's not actually mining any of the chorus flower because all the wood is getting taken up. So I need to put a void upgrade on this wood drawer. However, it is full, so I'm going to have to... probably the easiest thing to do is just get a trash can and then empty most of this out. And then swap out one of these upgrades with the void upgrade once it's empty enough. Let's just do that just now. Put some extract speeds in there as well, just to help speed this up. And yeah, that's going to get rid of some wood, and then I'll take the upgrade out. Let's actually work on one more thing while we're waiting, and that is these Dilithium Crystals. So we have to turn, or use some of the Deuterium we're getting. I didn't actually realise we needed Deuterium for this step, but luckily now we have loads and loads of it. So yeah, we put this in an autoclave with the Dilithium dust, and this will give us Dilithium Crystals. And we need these crystals to send the tier 7 and above microminers. So I think I'll just set up something passive to give us some of these Dilithium Crystals. If we look at our Dilithium count, we have 6.3 thousand, and we get this from the tier 1 microminer, so this is really cheap and easy to get. Okay, so I hooked up the dilithium ore to our ore processing, so that's given us the dust. Then I have two interfaces here, one for fluid, one for the dust, and this is giving us the crystals. And in fact, I should upgrade this as well. There's no reason not to. And let's check on this wood. I wonder if it's empty enough to replace the upgrade on there. Oh, it is. Let's stop voiding wood down to 300k. Yeah, we really don't need much more than that buffered. So once the buffers fill on the inputs of this crafter, we should start to gain some more chorus flowers. But in any case, we're waiting on wetware boards, so we can't really do a whole lot right now. We just check what we're missing. Yeah, we're still missing 81 wetware boards and some dark solarium as well. But yeah, apart from that, we basically got the tier 7 micro miner. Looks like this unlocks the dragon hearts and awakened draconium. And we'll also have to build a fusion Mark 3 to get neutronium. This is needed for the chaotic fusion injectors, which I think we need for these neutronium panels for the tier 10. I could be wrong, I don't remember exactly what these recipes require. We'll have to make tier 9s as well, which take the Tritanium frames. And then we're on to making omnium, which is gathering all of these materials. Most of this isn't going to be too bad. Most of this we actually have already. I just haven't picked up a full stack. But yeah, that's something else to work on. But we're getting there. We've actually made some really good progress today. Although we didn't manage to get the tier 7 sent today, we're pretty much just waiting on processing. So it's just going to be AFK stuff. And I don't have a lot more time to play tonight. So I think this is where we'll end it. And we'll pick up next time, build our tier 3 reactor. And hopefully send the tier 7. But yeah, with that, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more Omnifactory.